Okay. I had a few things I want to talk to y'all about. I'm going to turn the comments off for a second, and then I'm going to turn them back on for our interactive part, okay? But I need to spit some stuff out, and I need it to be heard without a distraction in the comments. So if y'all could please just stay with me. But before we do, while you're walking in, let's pray. Because I believe in Jesus Christ. So if you don't, and you're like, this is not my, okay, you can go for 2 seconds. I'm just giving you a warning. I always say this in the beginning. We can all agree on child trafficking. We can all agree that is everybody's war. But not everybody believes in Jesus Christ. And I understand that because it took me a minute to get here. So if you want to go, this is the warning. Just 30 seconds and then come back. Okay? Cool. Father God, we just thank you for this time together. Jesus, we just thank you for this moment to be able to speak. God, we just thank you for keeping the breath in our bodies, God. We just thank you for keeping us safe. We ask that everybody that is on this live, God, you keep them safe. You encamp your angels around them. Jesus, we know that there is so much spiritual warfare going on, and that there's many people that will try to send an evil assignment, God, and we're standing on your word that no weapon formed against us shall prosper, Jesus. That the weapon can be formed, but it won't prosper. We put on our helmet of salvation, our breastplate of righteousness, our girdle of truth, our shoes of peace and readiness, our shield of faith, and our sword of the Spirit, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and we pray in Jesus' name. Amen. By the way, I'm from the south side of heaven. I always love to say that. Heard that on TikTok. I really believe that is true for me. I am from the south side of heaven because God is not done with me yet. So, for those of you who are like, I don't know if I can deal with her anger, but I can deal with her prayer, you might want to leave too. Because this is not this is not a war where it's going to be explained pretty. This is not a war where anything in it is daisies and tulips and frolicking. None of that is in this war. Okay? So if you're new to this fight, and after that prayer you're just like, I don't know about, okay, go now. Because we don't need Bible thumping Christians or holier than thous on pedestals either. Everybody can agree on this war. Okay? Cool. I love everybody. I really do. I've been through some things. So I'm cool with everybody. Until you're not with me. And then I'm just not. Okay? I don't care who you are. Just cool. I'm going to turn the comments off for a second, okay? And then I'm just going to explain some things, spit some things out, and I'll turn them back on. Just stay with me. Hold on. Okay. The first thing I want to talk about is thank you so much for those who are sharing my videos and information. But I want to talk about something that is really bothering me, and it's been a thing. It's been a big thing. It's a thing for everybody. People trafficking my pain for their gain. That's a problem with me. That's a big problem with me. I understand that there's some people who are like, I've never even heard of you. I never even knew your story. Sorry I'm late. You're late. I'm sorry I'm late, but I'm here now and I'm trying. Okay? So there's those people, and I really thank you. If you're new, hi, I'm Allie. My twin's right here. She's this tall white wine sitting right here. She doesn't drink, but she's a tall white glass of wine. You know, I do. and she's my twin. But if I turn the camera this way, it's gonna create safety issues, so I can't. So just so you know, my twin's right here. Okay. So, we've been speaking for a very long time. It's about, for the internet, 4 years. For our life, since 3 months. We have been screaming from the rooftops. For my mom, I met her when I was 14. She adopted me at 19. I was not able to live a peaceful life with my mom. I was adopted as an adult. This twin over here. A lot of people are getting people confused. No, my bio mother is a piece of the devil. That woman, I would probably wear white to her funeral. Here, listen, this is my this is my real mother, right here. Yep, she a white woman, and we're twins. Okay, we look just alike so much that you wouldn't even know she was my mom. You know what? I can see it. There's a whole resemblance when you walk in the room. All right. Now, here's the thing. My surrogate was a piece of evil shit. I really would wear white to her funeral. That is not a woman that you would call a mother. I don't even know what you would call that. But her, with the passion, some people, you got to forgive. No, wait a minute. That's a whole other conversation for another day. But that woman is so evil. And I mean so evil. Not just for me. I was one of 6 kids of hers. You see, of hers. Of the borrowed fortune, of the paid off fortune, of the you take this child and hold on to this one and I'll pay you for that one. But she used to tell me all the time, I don't get enough money for you, for me. Out of the 6 girls, she got so much money. She got government assistance. She played the government. Said some of them had disabilities that they didn't have. She was on all kind of money. She was stealing social security cards, all kind of shit, right? And for me personally, I wouldn't go along with when she would take me to these government buildings to play or to do whatever she was doing. I wouldn't play along with it. I don't know why. I just wouldn't do it. So therefore, she got money for me by letting her boyfriends and shit abuse me, and not to mention all the other shit that goes on in that bloodline. But my bloodline helps you match some shit together. So stay with me because I'm about to jump. Here we go. All right. So my bloodline answers some questions, but it doesn't matter to me. You want to know why it doesn't matter to me? Because this is the only woman that has ever gave a shit as far as where I'm sitting today. Before that, no one cared. No one in the entire family cared. The family's huge. They did not care unless there was something in it for them. Okay? So I was raped a lot in my own closet by the chief of police. I was abused a lot in my own bed. I would move my little sisters over because there were sisters that I had that were smaller than me. And she was dating everybody. She slept with everything that walked. Okay? She had men in her life like buses. But all of them were a piece of my authority, from my doctors to my principals to everything. Okay? So I was abused a lot in a different way. Everybody was going through something in that house, but I was abused in a different way. Okay? Everybody blamed it on me because by the time I turned 13, I started to realize something's wrong. I talked to friends. I talked to people at school. This shit is not normal. This is not how you're supposed to get in trouble. I know it's a different culture, but this ain't it, right? So, but by that time though, I didn't know. I really thought everything was normal. So I was hypersexual. I was promiscuous. I had a lot of problems. I still do. I got a lot of issues. Okay. And I am not going to be that denial or liar to sit here and say that I do not. Okay. I am not healed. Not at all. Not at all. I'm working on it. All right. But I ain't Jesus. Okay. Not perfect. So now she used to tell me all the time, I don't get enough money for you. Which is why supposedly she did what she did. And why she let people do what she did. Supposedly she was always in the bathtub when I was getting raped by her boyfriends. But then when I was little, she would lay me over her leg and check me. And I don't know what she was checking for, but she would let her boyfriends do whatever they wanted to me. And then she would come and check me like that was supposed to do something. Okay? So when I say that my life has been this way for a very, very long time, my last order, sexual order, that was called, that I was on, was 18. I was still going through shit. There was things still happening. My pimps didn't just give me up at 19. You can see right now that people don't just leave you alone at 30. Thank you, Jesus. Right? Okay. Now, the people who are sharing my story now, I thank you for that. But if you were watching my story on a platform that is asking you for money, if you watched it at a convention that asked you for money, the question you should be asking them is, where did that money just go? Because I know you didn't contact her. I know you're not trying to help her, but you're asking for money. Where is that money going? If you are watching my videos, when I'm giving you information on my life and my account, personally, pricelessly, for free, why the hell is somebody selling the information back to you and then calling it education? They don't seem like part of the problem? That's no better than trafficking somebody else's pain. You're selling someone else's pain for your gain. Because our face is out there. The hell that we're going through, we get no money for. We not rolling in anything but pennies, okay? We just pulled together a bag to recycle some cans. We are not asking you for any damn thing. But at the end of the day, we are going through hell. I was just on a project with somebody that I'm pretty sure there's a few people that are sitting in these comments that are like, yeah, where the hell did you go? I'm so sorry, I can't come back. You want to know why? Because my life just turned again. That was my peace. That was my peace. Once Diddy was arrested, once it was called, we were followed from that area. We had to leave. The only reason why I said, let me get up and move, after I've been sitting in that area for a little bit, the only reason why I said, let me get up and move, is because they followed me and a few other kids to the grocery store. That's when I was like, you know what? It's okay. I'll go because I want the children that are on that project to stay safe. So you know what? It's okay. I'll go. We had a great time, didn't we? We had so much fun that now I'm pretty sure some of y'all are seeing these videos like, what the? Yeah. Yeah. Music is someone's diary. Art is a reflection of life. Do you hear me now? Okay? But those who are sharing the videos and those who are profiting from our pain, shame on you. If you're sitting there and you watch somebody profit off our pain, shame on you. You are one of the reasons why we still stuck in this bullshit, because everybody is trying to do some get rich quick scheme off the children. Nobody is calling people to action. Nobody is moving people back towards the kids. Everybody pops up and starts sharing when it's trending. I'm not talking about you if that's not what you're doing. So if that shoe don't fit, don't lace that bitch. Do you understand what I'm saying? If that shoe don't fit, don't put it on. If I'm not talking to you, move. But the point is if you know something and if you know see something, say something. How are people, we're so quick to, I got evidence on somebody else's pain is what I'm hearing right now. If you have evidence on the reason why I can't just drop my shit unless I'm dead is because there's other minors on my case. Do you understand that? Those minors refuse to tell the truth. Those minors are still probably living in this life. So to put their information out for my side is wrong. I can't do that. It's also illegal. I can't do that. Right? So to put my information, everybody just throw your information out. There's minors on the case. That weren't just me. Everything that I went through was as a child. I'm not talking about things as an adult. Do you hear me? Can I say that over for those in the back? Everything that I went through it as a child. From the age of 3 months old to 18 years old, I went through hell. All these elite parties, the orgies, the satanic rituals, the arm candy, the dropping suitcases of military grade weapons, of dropping cases with codes in them to missiles, doing clean hand jobs, basically being a kamikaze to another pimp. All of that happened to me when I was a child. I'm not talking about as an adult. All the hell that we're going through right now was everything that happened to me as a child, not as an adult. Not being able to have children of my own, that's what happened as a child, not as an adult. That's what I'm paying for as an adult. What's wrong with my body happened as a child, not as an adult. The choices that I made and the choices that other people made for me was as a child. I was a sex worker, and not a sex worker because sex work is not work. I was a child sex slave as a teenager, as a baby. While other people thought it was okay. You know what? Luxor, Las Vegas, Nevada, the casino. Y'all know where Luxor is, right? I was raped on their escalator in front of everybody at 15 years old. Nobody did anything. It was a full packed. If you have ever been in the casino, it was a full packed out casino. Nobody did anything. One, because it's Vegas. Two, because nobody's going to get involved. The amount of people that did stuff to me is endless. And I lost count. Do you hear what I'm saying? As a child. So for those of you, again, back to thank you for putting my story out, because I've never felt heard. I've never gotten justice. I don't believe there's justice for me. I already know that. It's happened. I can't rewind it. But we got to talk about some more stuff. Just hang on, though. But there's no justice for me. There's no time machine. There's no taking it back. And a lot of you are just coming to the party. But those of you who have been here from day one of 2020, thank you. Thank you. Okay? So those of you who are like, I'm trying to share to get this information out, because people can't fathom. My mom tells me all the time, because I'm like, Mom, what the hell is wrong with people? People are painful. And she's like, but wait a minute though. Even on my worst day, I can't fathom the type of stuff that you went through. I wouldn't be able to think of that stuff by myself. Okay? So I'm trying really hard to have patience with people. But if you are making money off of me, you are no better than the people who sold me. If you are sitting back and you know you paid for a ticket, or you paid for a subscription, or you paid for a $7.99 extra information, and it's my video on somebody else's platform, you are a part of the problem. That is no better than my pimps and pedophiles that we're talking about. If you're sharing it because it's the right thing to do, and it's the information that needs to get out there, and I thank you for it, then thank you. I'm not talking to you. Thank you. I appreciate you more than you will ever know. But the only person that is not making money off my pain is me. And that's what's messed up. That's why this is continuing. Everybody is so quick to, how much money will you give me if I tell you this truth? How much money can I get if I put this video out? How much money will I get if this? We don't give a shit. Do you hear me? I am a dance teacher. I'm a college student. All I want is my peace. That's it. Leave me alone. That's it. That's all I've asked for. I want to go back to school. I don't want to be ran out of my schools. I've been in the same community college for 13 years. Do you know how long you're supposed to be in a community college? 2 to 4. Maybe. 13 years. I'm not dumb. I just can't go. So, it's not funny. I'm starting to get like, woo! Okay. People ask us, why don't you just team up with this person that's talking? Just team up with this survivor. Just get together with this person. Just do an interview with this person. Okay, I have a question. All the people who are like, just do an interview with me. Are they Dr. Phil? Is there going to be some aftercare that's not corrupt after the interview? Because what do you think is going to happen after we go on their podcast? Here's that part. Let me turn on, because I seriously want to know. Because so many people have this TV mentality that they think once you get on this interview with this podcaster, because I've been watching them, right? And they do collect a little money, but at the same time, I think they got a lot of information out. All right. So if you do an interview with them, that's going to do what? Do what? After the interview, after they hand me that mic, what is it going to do? Besides give them the story that they want for their views and their trends. Besides that, what is it going to do after we give them that interview? Tell me. You tell me. What does that do? What does that do? What does that do? After we do an interview with them, what is that supposed to do? Yes, thank you. For some people who are like, that puts more eyes on you, yes, because we do need that safety net. But for those who we don't know now are just like, let's just do an interview. What is that supposed to do? We did a lot of interviews in the beginning because we didn't know. We did not know. We were just like, throw it out there. Just throw that shit out there. I don't know how we're going to do it. I don't know where. We're just put it out there. Whoever was like, we'll share it. We're like, thank you. Okay, cool. But you got to pay to play with some of these people. You understand that, right?
They probably don't explain it.
Okay, so we do an interview. Okay, I'll help you. I'll help you. You remember when we did an interview with... I'm not gonna say names. You remember when we did an interview with someone who has a semi-national platform? Okay, I don't want to give this man more views for what he did already, okay? So we did this interview with this man, and it's already going, right? He asked us for some evidence in the middle because he didn't get the evidence that he wanted. He put in a rape video in the mix of us speaking. Then on top of that, after the interview was over, he told me that the Riverside County, Los Angeles, LAPD contacted him and wanted to talk to me. Now, the LAPD, Riverside County Police Department, Moreno Valley Police Department, and a few others to name were some of the ones who I was talking about when my surrogate was dating police officers and they were putting me in the back of their car, and I learned that I have eggshell wrist because when you put somebody's handcuffs a little too tight, they can probably pull out of them if they're pulling too hard. So I was told that I had eggshell wrist because a lot of the times when I was raped by cops, I was moving too much, and then my hands came out. So they would make them really tight. So somebody said, let me just, here's that person. What is that supposed to do? Now, here's the thing. I'm gonna turn these back off for a second. When we that putting all your chickens in one basket. Do you see that the Diddy case is already getting covered up? There's already corruption. There's already attorneys wondering why the victims are not getting their information out. There's already attorneys running why shit is getting covered up. Look it up. Go ahead and look it up. Already there's cover-ups happening. I told you that. Because everybody's like, call the feds. You can get on the case. You think we dumb? I know a lot of you don't know what that means. And again, the first thing to do is let's call the police and let's get you on the case. That's not going to do anything. If anything, the case was already, you can see it. We can. If we throw it in 6 from something and we don't say shit to y'all, it means we see something and we waiting for everybody else to see it. Okay? We already seen that coming a long time ago. That case is about to get shut down. Everything is about to go under the rug. The same way Ghislaine Maxwell's case went under the rug. The same way nobody's talking about Ghislaine's case anymore. Like it didn't even happen. The same way we're not even talking about the fact that Jeffrey Epstein was the John. Ghislaine Maxwell was the supplier. Who else do you think that she sold kids to? You remember how I told you Johns, traffickers, pimps, all different. Okay? Epstein was the one who said, I want a 6-year-old. I want a 9-year-old. I want a 12-year-old. Ghislaine is the one who said, I know where to find that 6-year-old, 9-year-old, and 12-year-old. I will sell them to you. Epstein had parties where he invited multiple people to come and take part, and who he brought Who else did she sell kids to? You see how that just got covered up? Shut down, quiet, nothing, nothing, done. What happened to her victims on that case? There were multiple victims that threw into that case. What do you think happened to them? Do you think they got silenced? Do you think they're okay? Do you think they're safe? Do you think their information is safe? Do you think their information was heard? Because did you hear it? No. Because are we still talking about it? No. What do you think happens when everybody jumps on one thing? If one situation falls, so does the whole thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. For those who are like, team up with this person, team up with that person, just because survivors are trying to tell you the same thing, sometimes it does not mean that they stand stronger together. When do you see us endorse anybody? Do you? When do you see us stand with other survivors that much? Do you? Especially if they have a platform. Do you? No. This whole time that we've been on, we've been very careful who we say, hey, we may have had an interview with this person, but we're not telling y'all to follow them. We're not telling you to listen and hang on to every word that they say. Pay attention, though. We did an interview with them. There it is. But that's up to you to pay attention, because we don't know them. We don't know what all they're capable of, so we don't know what's going on there. If we already see that they mudslinging names, if we already see that they only speak about the children when it's convenient, if we already see that they get dragged beyond dragged, and then the next thing they do is turn around and start drama, and I'm gonna sue you, we back up. Want to know why? Because if you're gonna sue somebody, you would have did it. The amount of I'm gonna sue you when people don't get their way is ridiculous on social media. Boo-hoo. Do you know how many times people call us out of our names? Do you know how many times somebody tries to kill us? Do you know how many ways people have told us and tried to get rid of us? Do you think we give a shit about you calling us out of our name or saying something a little sideways to us to the point we're gonna sue? No, ain't nobody got time for that. The court's a theater. We all know that. The court is fake. And if you go to the wrong person, if things get hit with the corrupt hands, if something hits a corrupt judge, then everybody's situation is going under the court, and they will make it look like the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus did it. First of all. Okay. As far as grouping with other people, if they're lying, or if there's something that goes down,
or if somebody planted them or sent them to be in the middle of the group, it's going to take the whole group down and discredit everybody, and that is the quickest, easiest, cheapest way to silence
it muddies the waters. It makes people exhausted. It makes people feel like, damn, I thought we were onto something. I thought they were telling the truth. I thought we were good. And then the next thing you know, it was a lie.
And so then next time if somebody comes to tell you the truth, you're
not
like,
going to hear it. Yeah.
Last time they were lying, so I'm not messing with it.
Last time I was so invested, and then they teamed up with this person, and it went straight to shit.
And I tell you, speaking the truth is such a heavy load of who you can trust, of how careful you have to be. It's a heavy load, and it's a lot. Neither one of us mind, because it's for the children, but knowing that if we take a wrong misstep, if we trust the wrong person, if we go in the wrong direction, we could lose all that. That's a lot.
And another thing is, some of these survivors that are holding on to other people's evidence, shame on you. You know what? Let's talk about Dead Man Switch. Isaac Kappy, do you know who that is? He's supposedly dead. Now, there's multiple people who hold this man's Dead Man Switch, which is insurance for us. That means our insurance holders. For those of you who don't know what insurance holders are, those are the people around the world that we have dropped our evidence to because we felt like we could give it to an attorney that is on social media. Found out that was a celebrity attorney, so that's a whole other conversation for another day. Okay? We didn't know who to give it to. We still don't. We have nobody to give it to. There's evidence that we have that there's nobody to give it to. So if we die, right now, we walk away from these cameras and we take our last breath, insurance holders all over the world will just start dropping it.
To you guys.
To y'all.
Because there is nobody else.
Yeah, you guys, like I said, the first responders to this war is you. So, if something happened to us, they're going to start dropping it and handing it out like candy. And they won't stop. Ever. But there's some information that'll get us killed because there's other minors in the situation. Right? So, if we died, what's the point of sitting on our dead man switch? Isaac Cappy, supposedly he's dead. For the first time, I'm going to say, allegedly, he's dead. Okay? And somebody has his dead man switch. If this man is dead, then what are you holding it for? Is he really dead? Or are you trying to make money and gain off of what's going on? Because he has a dead man switch. So why didn't anybody let that go? The people, survivors that are running around, and I have evidence of other people, and they only use it when they're in trouble to blackmail her to say, I got a 15-year-old's evidence. I got 3 victims that I got the evidence. I got this evidence. I got that. Why are you holding it? Why are you holding someone else's pain for your gain and then only bringing it up when you're in a problem? Huh? What sense does that make? What sense does that make? We listen to a lot of people. We don't say anything. We just listen. And then we like, we're back. We're back. We're back. We good. We'll stay away from that. We'll stay away from that. There are some things that people say that we're like, we'll stay away. So the people that are like, can we give you a mic? Can you come on? We said we would take a mic, but as of right now, I'm like, ooh, never mind. Because our voice is getting out there. I thank you for that. We have worked really hard to keep our integrity, to keep the honesty, to keep the guys, the children. I don't know how many times, right? We have, it's a lot. It's a lot while we're getting dogpiled on for every situation to keep that integrity. Okay? But we see a lot of people that are not. So what do? Throw it in 6.
Well, and then you got some that are just straight out batshit crazy. There's a silly little man that came at us early on. Didn't know he was so crazy. We had a 10-minute conversation.
Yep.
Allie and I didn't even need to say anything. We just looked at each other and just backed
up slowly. As a survivor,
politely.
though, being in the life of somebody who you're supposed to be able to tell if somebody's going to hit you, you're supposed to be able to read somebody's whole body language, especially when you're taking money from them as a sex slave. You're supposed to be that person that can read it. So if they're uncomfortable, you know to move back. If they're going to hit you, you know to move back. You have to read body language and read what you listen. That's the whole reason I'm still alive. I'm really street smart, okay? Working on the book smart. I'm really smart though, all right? But the thing is you're supposed to read body language. So I listen to a lot of people and I study some things before I even move forward sometimes. If I miss it, I missed it. And then I want other people to see it. If I'm really not saying a damn thing, I'm like, I want you to see what I see. I want you to see what I see before I say anything. Okay? But if there's something that I'm like, I hear you already, and the one thing that you just said, the one sentence that you just said that don't make any sense, I'm done. I'm done. There's no reason for us to move forward. Okay? So, grouping survivors together, yes, everybody's story needs to make it out there. But again, you guys are the responders to this war.
If the kids are going to be saved, it's because you guys step up and do it. There is nobody else coming to do that.
No.
It's on you all. It's on all of us, actually. It's been on our watch, so...
Now, for those who I see defending Perros, okay, if you're a defender of somebody who you have no idea, first of all, the people that I see that are trying to defend Diddy with he's a black man, Beyonce, she's a black woman, Oprah, she's a black, yes, a black person, that is wrong. And this is the problem right here. If you are defending these people that you don't know, yet you know they're guilty, because you can see it. Your two eyes can see there's something ain't right. Something don't smell right. Okay? You can see this, yet you're defending it. You're probably one of those people that defend those pedos in your house. You're probably one of those people that defend that auntie or uncle so-and-so that you know did something to somebody, yet you don't want to deal with it and you don't want to face it. You don't want to argue and you don't want to have that fight. So therefore, you shut up about it. You let it happen. Years go by and that person and that victim finally speaks and it's, well, we didn't know. Yes, you did. You just didn't want to do anything about it. You knew. You knew. But instead of being brave, instead of sticking up for somebody because you knew it was wrong, you kept quiet and you enabled them. You defended their actions by saying, go put something on a little bit more. Don't be with them a little too long. You're enabling them. So for those who are defending people so quick without believing the kids, they're usually the same people that would do that in their own family. Shame on you. And what the saddest part is sometimes about 50% of those people, something happened to them and nobody did anything. So therefore they think it's okay to let something else happen to someone else. I'm not going to be that person that they made me to be. And I'm not going to keep and continue that chain of problems. Are you? Because those people who are, well, he couldn't have did anything. How do you know that? How many victims need to come forward for you to, what? How many ways does this need to happen for you to 2 + 2 = 4? If you see the attorneys even, the ones defending, they're guilty. They're the same people. You know, some people, I used to go to these really weird clubs, sex clubs, as a kid. And they would put, and elite parties too, they would put dildos on like a broomstick and they would rape people with them. And then their excuse was, I didn't do it. I didn't touch them because they raped them with a toy. So therefore, they're not guilty. That's the same gist. You're still guilty. You still did something. But as far as they can say, I physically didn't touch them. Physically, my hands weren't on them. So I didn't do it. We have been to courts. I've been trafficked to police, raped by police, brutalized by police. We got chased down by the police 14 times. Different states, without a ticket. Just bullshit. Where'd you park your car? How long you gonna be gone? And the only reason why is because I mentioned his name, Michael. I'll still do it again. Do it again. Michael. Once I said his name, we got pulled over back to back to back to back to back to back because you're not supposed to tell on them. No, for the rest of your life, they'll never believe you're not supposed to tell them because they have a brotherhood. They have a blue brotherhood. And that blue brotherhood will come together and do whatever they need to do for a fellow brother. That means punking, bullying, and violating a victim if they feel like they're too close to the truth. Huh, Michael? Right? So, we got pulled over 14, and that's on here. I have another account too. It's called Lonnie's Truth. It's my backup account. So if this one gets taken down, it's shaking. Okay? There's another one called Lonnie's Truth. But what else are we supposed to do? What else do you think? So we've been to, the only reason why you guys have met us is because we decided to turn on our cameras. We've been going through the same shit for years. That's how we have so much of what we have. Paperwork, documents, court orders, private investigators, all kinds of shit. Court cases that are already been done. We went to court with Child Protective Services in 2021 or 2022. On the time that we were on the road, Got to insurance holders, drove for hours, got to insurance holders and went through paper after paper after paper, relived evidence for hours and for days, got on the phone and he touched you where, and he did this, and how did he do this, and how did he do that, and what time was it, and where was your social worker? For 8 months. And when I'm thinking, I kept telling my mom, like, hey, stop giving them shit. Like, I feel like this is a setup. Stop giving them shit. And then another minute, I'm just like, all right, wait, one more. Okay, one more. Okay, one more. And then right before I gave them what I knew I shouldn't give them, right before I was supposed to give it to them, they dropped the case. Do you know how many court bears I've had in my life as a kid? Do you know how many foster kids go sit in a court and they're made to feel like everything in that court is their fault? Do you know how many times I've went to court to sit in the back? Do you know I went to court at 4 years old to have somebody tell me it was my fault at 4 years old? I remember that so clearly. At 4 years old, I was told it was my fault that this lady and her boyfriend raped and locked me in a closet and then threw me in their driveway when they were done with me. They made my bio surrogate shake out her purse and hand her the money in the courtroom. Court has never worked out because it's a theater and the justice system is rigged. And if it worked out, then we wouldn't be having this conversation to this day. If it worked out somewhere, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Because how many groups of missing children is there in every state and every country? If court worked out somewhere, we would not be having this conversation at all. So what else do you think we're supposed to do? I'm not going to turn the comments back on because I really want to know from you after, if you were us and if you were in our shoes, what else are we supposed to do? Because by the time you met us in 2020, it was because we were starting to run out of options. We're out of options. What do you think I'm going to do? I will keep speaking. I will keep fighting because I promised my friends, I promised the child and myself, I promised, period. And this is the hill we die on. So I'm not saying that we're gonna give up, but what else are we supposed to do? Do you know how much evidence I have on Oprah? Do you know how much affidavits that we have on the Obamas? What are we supposed to do with that? Yes, the Obamas are guilty. Very. Manchelle likes to go to the Getty. A lot. Ask me how I know. What do you think? Stop it with the, what do you think about this person? Talk to me for a second. I don't want to talk about somebody else. Please. Talk to me for a second and answer me. What do you think we're supposed to do? If you were in our shoes, what's your next move? Because there's kids that are still in this. There's babies that are being brutalized. Right now, I was buried alive as a teenager. When cops' cars are sometimes parked the other way, sometimes they're raping someone or having sex with somebody. Ask me how I know. Me, yes. Foster care is guilty. Child Protective Services custody has a lot to do with what's going on. Ask me how I know. Me, I've lost several friends that were in custody of Child Protective Services as well. If you talk to anybody from the foster care system, they will tell you it's hell. If you survive, you're lucky. If you were in my shoes, what would you do? We talked to the courts, went to the police, know that the police is corrupt, private investigators, We've been screaming. I don't know what else. What exactly? What do I do now? I'm waiting. Seriously, I'm not joking. What would you do? Is there any decent lawyer advocates? No. There's not.
Well, there may be, but at some point they're going to have to run that information up the food chain, up to the judge, up to a police officer, up to the DA, up to somebody else, and eventually it's going to hit somebody that's corrupt. That's just how it's been designed. It's all designed like that.
Tell Trump to leak evidence. You got his number?
Trump trying to keep his own shit straight.
Trump can't even, tell Trump to leak his own damn evidence. But do you have his number? Seriously, do you have his number? Do you think that we just have that man's cell phone number? Do you think with all that man is going through that we just go, hey Trump, can you leak my evidence? Do you mind? Who do you think that I have to talk to in order to get to Trump? Trump has a assistant. Trump has Secret Service. Trump has somebody answering the phone before it gets to him. Before he answers, somebody's answering the phone. So if that person doesn't, then what? But do you have his number? Do you see how hard that would be? Keep going. I want to know what you guys, what are we supposed to do?
And he's got a lot of corruption in his line, because otherwise he wouldn't have got shot. Leak all my evidence on the internet? Why? Because, okay, so when I do that, all hell breaks loose for me and my mom. Are you sitting here with us? We don't have an army with us. I don't know how many people don't understand and can't grasp this, but the 90s are not white hats. The 90s are everyday people. So as of right now, we are sitting alone. There is no one with us or in the area. We can call on a 90 and say, hey, can you help us? They might be in the middle of taking care of their kids. They might be sick. They might be going through something that they cannot. So then we have to find a random stranger to, hey, can you just stand with us? But if we released everything, do you think that we're safe? And releasing, as much as stuff is censored, releasing everything can be shut down in about 2 seconds.
2 seconds. And on top of that, I've released a lot already. It's just some of you are so new to this page that you're just now getting to the party. For real. I'm not being rude. I'm just saying, like, you are just now getting to the party. That a lot of you are just now getting here because the Diddy stuff is trending. You know, the Diddy stuff is not the only problem, right? The Diddy stuff is the major focus. So as of right now, everybody can, oh, we just talking about Diddy. No, we talking about decades of it, but Diddy is in the spotlight. And right now, they're about to shut that shit down. You won't know his client list. You won't know who else is guilty. You won't know who else is at the parties. Everybody is, I'm gonna tell who's at the parties. But all these people who were there, they have the same story. I left by 1 a.m. The ones that were there says, yeah, I know about it. But they're adults. And they were adults at the time of these parties. Hear me again. Please rewind this, screen record it, whatever you need to do. But some of the people speaking were adults at the time of the party and are adults now that are still defending what they saw other children go through. What else are we supposed to do? What else are we supposed to do? You know, we did an event. We tried to do an event. It was really small. We called randomly and we said, hey, and it ended up to be like 30 or so people. We took evidence with us and literally passed it around the room. I'm telling you right now, half of the people that were there don't realize what was in their hands. They don't. A lot happened at that event. that people were so wrapped up in the spiritual warfare that a lot of them don't even understand what I handed you that night. I handed people the ditty 4 to 5 pages, 5 pages long. It's 4.5. So it's 5 pages long. I handed every person a ditty affidavit and it went around the room. Some of you held Obama's evidence and it went around the room. Some of you held Oprah's evidence and it went around the room. Everybody knows what happened at the Playboy because it went around the room. But at one point, people got sick. Because I think people thought, I forgot that we were at a trafficking event. People got sick. And they didn't want to read anymore. And it didn't click. That I was trying to tell you, hey, this is about to happen here. Some people didn't realize that were there. Some. So there's some people who are like, would you take a mic again? Would you go to a live event again? Yes. But this time, we are not organizing that shit. And I'm going to tell you why. A lot of people don't want to break this down for you. Okay? Do you know what it takes to do an event? Security, vetting, buying the venue, food, making sure that everything is able to get there. Because at first, I was just like, throw some chairs in a building. Me and my mama are so simple that we would have put food on napkins. Had we known that people were arguing over food at one point at our event, we would have put the food on napkins. That's how simple we are. Paper plates. Okay? Finger food. It was chicken noodle soup. But at the end of the day, like the other stuff, the crackers and lunch meat and whatever, it was not that deep. So when people are like, do another event, we not doing that. We not doing that. That was a lot. Not to mention the stress. The before and after, like, it's a lot. We had so much evidence on us, and our car got broken into because my mom was sick. My mom was sick. That's what happened when we left the event. There was people following us around. Okay, so my mom got sick, and the only thing I was focusing on was me and my mama getting upstairs safely. So there was a bag that got left in the car. When I tell you she was sick, and I was just like, done. I grabbed a shower bag. I grabbed medicine. I grabbed what was needed for that night. And I got me and my mama upstairs to a hotel that I knew something was wrong at. The car was broken into. A bag was taken. And the affidavit of Joe Biden was in there. But go ahead.
Go ahead and release it.
Go ahead, release it. I'm human. Compared to a lot of these other folks, we are human. Okay? So what? No. I'm sorry, but no. So there's some people who are like, would you do another live event? And would you do it like that again? Would you release evidence at a live event where everybody is there so you don't have to get banned and taken on social media? Yes. But I want my own security. I will pick the security. I want the layout. I don't think people even ask about our safety ever. Everybody's always like, can I do this with you? Can I do that with you? Not one time before everybody comes, can I get your evidence? Can you release this affidavit to me? Can you come do an interview on my podcast? Can we do a live event together? Not one question in that email is, how are y'all getting in and out safely if we do this? Are y'all gonna be okay? Because it's already a lot. I know y'all already going through a lot, but legit, are y'all okay? Not one person has asked that question. That's how we know. Nope. I can tell you who asked that question. The person we did an interview with. There's two of them. Ming and another one. And I'll repost this interview, but it's on my website. Those are the only two that was ever like, hey, you good? Seriously, you good? Can we do this? You ready to move forward? You really okay? Okay, let's do this. Everybody else is, how much can what can we, you know what, we can make merch. You can make a movie. We can do this. We can do, what is movies and merch and all that going to do? What is all that going to do? Stu Peters, I would never do anything to Stu Peters again. Ever. I regret that interview. I even asked him to delete it and he wouldn't. It's one of the interviews that are making its rounds right now. I will never, ever trust a man like that again. It's hard because there's some people who are coming at us right now who are like, I've never seen your stuff and I'm really sorry. And I really want to be there. I really want to do something with you. There's somebody who messaged me like that was like, here, you can have my Twitter spaces here. And I'm just like, ooh, I don't know. But still, question, what are we supposed to do? A Glock to the, you know what? We can't do that. Can't do that. Ever think about moving to Africa? Just asking. Okay, so there's a few people who ask us that question. Just kind of run to another country. That's a lot. And I know that some people do that, but the only reason why we can't do that is because we can't navigate the country that we have. To walk into a brand new country with different rules, different everything, we wouldn't be able to handle all that. So those who run to other countries, to like, because there's different rules over there. So
well,
it's
MK
easier.
Ultra stuff comes into play too. Like,
yeah. You know, another thing before we go. A lot of people are not talking about the MK Ultra DID. Do you know what comes from DID? Do you know why DID is a thing, dissociative identity disorder? When you are traumatized the way that I've been traumatized, your brain has to go somewhere. Do y'all know what that means? Your brain has to go somewhere.
It's too much of a load for a brain to carry that much trauma. Yeah. So it has to split itself off so it can just take little pieces of the trauma. So each little piece takes a part of the trauma, so it can kind of keep it separate. MK Ultra is them knowing how to do that on purpose and weaponizing it.
Yeah. So.
And controlling it.
And again, if you have been traumatized, if you've been in the things, I have listened to people stand outside of a door and talk about what they're going to do to me before they do it. And talk about me like I was just a piece of something sitting in a room. So when I tell you that by the time somebody came in there, I was not there. There's a point too where I can tell you that if somebody ever seen it to this day, there were times where after 3-4 hours dealing with a person on top of you and that won't let you go, you black out. But not in the way that your body blacks out, your mind blacks out.
People are talking about the trafficking at the Diddy parties, and they're leaning heavily towards the adults. They're omitting the fact that so many children were there. They're omitting the fact that MK Ultra was being done at those parties. They're admitting the fact that satanic ritual abuse was being done at those parties. They're kind of just leaning towards trafficking and letting you guys fill in the blanks that it was adults. You're not hearing the word children at all, other than what Allie's telling you and what you guys can put two to two together about Justin Bieber. You're not hearing the truth of what happened. You're hearing little bits and pieces, but they're leaning you towards the adults. But at those parties, MK Ultra was being done, satanic ritual abuse was being done.
You know, there's people who have sick wax fetishes, and some people just think that that's like, I'm gonna take some wax from a candle, pour it on you, and like, okay, there are people who in these elite parties tie kids down and then drop wax on them and then tell them don't scream, and if you scream, I will beat the shit out of you, knowing that they're gonna scream. They'll even tell you, like, if once it burns, you need to say your name that they gave you. So if my name is Allie, but I went into the party and they told me my name is Ashley for the night, and if I don't respond and say my name is Ashley, then they will continue to hurt me until in my head my name is Ashley. Because if you're a foster kid or if you're somebody that's missing and you slip and give somebody your real name, then they're in trouble. So they now have to program the alter that's not going to give their real name by pain and torture.
And they code that stuff so they can call that up again.
So then when you see them sitting on live TV and they move their hand a certain way or they snap their finger, that person is going to stand up straight, and that's now Ashley, the one that's been tortured enough to now answer, like Pavlov. You know the Pavlov thing for dogs?
Dog.
Where they ring the bell and the dog eventually knows it's going to get a treat.
It'll start salivating.
So eventually, after so many times of ringing the bell and then giving the dog the treat, and then ringing the bell and giving the dog the treat, and ringing the bell and the treat, all you got to do is ring the bell and the dog is like, I'm getting a treat. That's programming.
So essentially what she's saying is when they've created Ashley by pouring the wax on and Pavloving her so that she knows not to scream and what her name is, then they code that shit with MK Ultra. And once that shit's coded, those codes are bought and sold
Through a contract.
through contracts with each other. So if somebody at Diddy's party, if 5 people at Diddy's party want to see Ashley, they can
gotta pay for that
buy
code.
those codes and call Ashley up and do whatever they want to Ashley. Do you understand what's being said here when we say MK Ultra? They are trafficking.
And then they put Ashley back, and then Allie comes back up, and you never know Ashley existed because Allie don't. So, because they don't communicate. So if Allie starts talking about Ashley, she never will, because in her head, Ashley don't exist. That wasn't the person who took all that pain. It was Ashley. We're not just talking about rape. That's the easy part. I could deal with that. Unfortunately, I could deal with that. Because eventually, somebody's going to leave you alone. In my head. Okay? Bear with me. But, as far as MK Ultra and programming goes, that never leaves you. Ever.
That is the worst. Like, I've said that from the beginning. What you're hearing about the trafficking of and the children, that is the least of the evil things that have been done. When they're buying and selling somebody's codes to their brain, they've created babies that have codes. They've created toddler alters
You know,
that have
on TikTok,
codes.
when you see these people who are acting like kids and they have handlers, they have people who stand
Or
with
animals.
them, or animals, they act like furries. That furry is programmed. So sometimes the real person can start acting like a real person, and then the next thing you know, they're acting like a dog or a cat with the tail and panting and won't stop crawling on the floor and put the leash on. That's DID. That's MK Ultra. Britney Spears. You notice how there's different versions of Britney? Twangy, not twangy, high pitched, a little ditzy,
Young.
very smart, young, older. Inside Out, the Disney movie that just came out, is based on DID. That all is DID. And whoever made that movie has a very, very intricate system, because they put it in everybody's face and nobody knows what they're looking at. You're looking at somebody's full blueprint while you're watching Inside Out.
Blueprint of their brain.
Mm-hmm. That's why the things that's going on is in Headquarters and Inside Out. Disney told you.
They always do.
So, you know, a lot of people couldn't answer me about what am I supposed to do next. But a lot of people demand stuff from us about what we should do next. That's the sad part. I do want to get everything over with. I do want to let go and just be like, here, this is all of it. Instead of reliving it every 2 seconds when people figure it out. But I don't know what else to do. And neither do you. Do you see how we're still in this problem? The fact that you don't know what to do either That's what we have to say to whatever child is getting abused, raped, and in the situations that we just talked about tonight. There's how many people that watch this live? But a lot of you don't know what to do. Everybody is like, go to this person, go to that person, go to this person. I want you to ask yourself, are they talking about the kids? Are they talking about everything with the kids? I mean everything. Do they? Or do they only do it when it's trending? Are they collecting money? Do they have the same outrage for the children all the time?
Well, pretty much if your answer starts with go to this person, that's never going to work. Your answer should be starting with, what can I do?
Mm-hmm. Everybody's so focused on, again, a get-rich-quick scheme to put the responsibility on somebody else. You know how much power you hold because you sign the elite's checks? You sign the news checks? You sign any person that's in power that you are waiting for an answer from in social media? You sign their paycheck. Do you understand that? You sign it. By streaming them, by watching them, by just going along with, okay, they were talking about the kids, but we just stopped, and I'm not going to say anything because I think we'll be back. If you start demanding answers from every person in the media, you're taking away their paycheck. Do you get that? So, those of you who are like, how can we help? Demand answers the same way they demand answers from the victims. You know who's on that list. We all know. Well, some of us. Who majority of the list is, you know that. Let's be real here. You've seen the black books, you've seen the I don't know how many books of the laptop from hell, you've seen the list of people that have come out I don't know how many times. You know who's on that list. So what are you going to do about it? Are you going to demand where's the victims? Are we going to talk about the victims? How many of you will it take to get on your local media and say, talk about the children that are missing? Just talk about the children that are missing in the area. I don't know. There's some people who are like, for you, how can we have lost everything again. We started to try to build shit back a little bit. We were like, you know what, maybe there's a chance I can go back to online school. Just leave the internet alone for a second. It's fine, nothing's gonna happen. So our story is out there, it's whatever. People are gonna forget about us. I don't even care. You know, that was the kind of the way that I was going. And then his ass got arrested, and then it all changed again. And we had to get up and move. And now I'm sitting here like, all right, what now? What now? Do you know how many news reporters we've written? Do you know how many times we've asked you guys to contact your local news, your local police department, your local everything, and ask them where the hell are the kids? What's going on? Now you have all this information out in front of you about these elite celebrities. If everybody started demanding the truth, especially from these truth tellers, the podcasters, people who do interviews, what do you think will happen? And somebody said we are so ignored too. I know. Somebody got to do something. Somebody got to start somewhere. I don't know what else to do. I don't know. There should be rage. When you hear the fact that somebody is eating and beating children, there should be rage. There shouldn't be sitting on it. You shouldn't be able to sleep. If you know how much hell a child is going through, if you understood what I've told you, you shouldn't be able to sleep. Let's just be real. I can't sleep. They shouldn't be able to walk down the street, but you shouldn't be able to sleep. Because the question is what if it was you? Or yours? I'm so angry. You should be. You should be. Kids that people are breaking their bones and abusing them and then calling them underage prostitutes. Those kids are not allowed to be angry, can't feel anything, can't fight back. So yeah, you should be angry. Yeah, it's not just the kids, it's the animals. The Biden administration has us censored. It's not just them, though, that has y'all censored. It's not just them. If it was just them, then I heard that Trump went back to the same spot that he was shot at. It seemed like the security could do all the jobs that they said they couldn't do before when he was shot before. So it's not just the Biden administration. Just so you know. The red and the blue and everything in between is guilty.
Yeah, it's not a Democrat problem. It's not a liberal problem. It's a humanitarian problem, all across the board.
Trudeau has us silenced. So you see, it's not just the one administration. There's so many. So this again, it's a humanity issue. This is not. They're only puppets. They're a part of everything, so it's just puppets.
Truth be known, most of them have MK Ultra programming as well. And somebody higher up the food chain is running them.
If they all play a part, what can we really do? You know that there's more of us than there is of them. You never realize that until later, but there really is. There really is. Like a lot. Wow. There's a lot. So everybody is like, well, they'll do this, they'll shut it down. If everybody stood up, the game would be over. Everybody. If everybody demanded answers from Child Protective Services, the game would be over. Let's start with where are all these kids coming from? If you went on every social media right now, there's so many people that's watching this video, and I thank you. But if everybody stopped for a second and went on social media everywhere and just started commenting, where's all the kids? The kids don't just go missing. Everything that you guys know is involved. Idols, celebrities, once they post something, where's the kids? When is anybody going to talk about the kids? Who supplied all those children, and who else did they sell kids to? They didn't just sell kids to Diddy. They didn't just sell kids to Epstein. It wasn't just Ghislaine that was a supplier. It's not just Oprah. It's not just the Obamas. The country music is not just Beer and Jesus, so it's not just Dolly. This is everywhere. So what everybody needs to do is start demanding, where are all the kids? Where is the list? There doesn't need to, everybody, these lists that come out, it's like, you know what, never mind, because now they're closing the case for Diddy, and they're saying that it can't be other people's business. And that's exactly why we said something about the case too. We don't want anything to be quiet anymore. Everybody has done so much and enough behind closed doors. It's enough. So they're going to shut it down so you don't know what else. They're talking about we don't want to post damaging evidence to the internet. Damaging for who? Damaging for who? Because the court stopped the Epstein list from coming through as well, because they said there's some celebrities that this is going to damage their reputation. Boo hoo. You should have thought about that before you damaged a child's soul. I don't care. Boo hoo. You shouldn't either. So those people who are like, you did, well, we can't release that because that will create mass hysteria. And nobody can afford a damn thing. We all know aliens are real. Hybrid children are still being experimented and gene spliced on. We got freaking children that are missing and come up missing. Kids just don't go missing. We already in mass hysteria. Everywhere. So I don't want to hear all that. It's going to save some people boo-hoo about their feelings. Your feelings. I'm trying to... Oh, your feelings? I don't care. You know, and I'm pretty sure that child didn't care with every broken bone. That child doesn't care with every damaged thing that has happened to their spirit, their soul, and their body. So boo-hoo on an adult's reputation. Boo-hoo on somebody's feelings. This is too much. This is too dark. This is too much information. For who? For who? Because we got to sleep on this information. The victims can't sleep. The parents of the victims can't sleep because they up with their kids. If they have their parents. So who are we protecting again? What are we doing? We got entrances and exits through the ocean and through all of the water. You think they're not messing with the water? I'm talking about there is entrances, and I swear we're going to go over this a lot of times because when we finally get to the topic of the islands, I've been there, I've done that. So I'm telling you right now, there are entrances and exits and manholes in the ocean. Why do you think certain people have private submarines? Why do you think they need a submarine? Why do you think I say there's every source of transportation under the ground? So who are we? I'm trying to grasp, who are we protecting besides children? Well, nobody's talking about the children. Everybody has saved the children. We got to talk about... Tunnels from water to homes. I told you that. The homes connect to schools, graveyards. Those tunnels connect. It's not just one tunnel. They go each way forever. So those people who are like, they cleaned them out, it's very hard to believe. Because we ain't even cleaned out the people that live in those homes. So how'd you clean out the tunnels when you didn't even clean out the predators? Tell me that. I don't give a shit if somebody's going to tell me they're cloned or they're just walking around and they already got it. Bullshit. Because to people, you're not stopping this problem by faking it either. Military tribunals? Bullshit. All those people that I've been to a military tribunal, I automatically, bullshit, you a liar. You a liar. Because let me tell you something. If I seen Hillary Clinton's feet swinging from a tree, I wouldn't be denying the fact that she's gone. I'd be like, I'm chilling. I am chilling because I already know they did. Let me go to a military tribunal. Y'all will know. Invite me to a tribunal. I will tell you if they actually gone. I know for a fact there's clones. That's not the same Biden. We all know that. His eyes change from blue to brown. The ears ain't the same. The nose ain't the same. 1 minute we running and skipping, and the next minute we shuffling barely. I understand. You know, and we all know that that's not the same one. That does not mean that he's gone. We all know Oprah don't look the same. That ain't her either. She looking a lot like Diamond and Silk. Not my business though. What do I know? But we all know that's not her. So, but that doesn't help the problem. So when are we actually going to clean out the predators so we can clean out the tunnels? Because those tunnels connect to every predator in Hollywood.
And DC.
And DC. and around the country. How do you think they get from one point to the other so quick? How do you think that happens? How do you think those people that are like, I'm gonna run to another country real quick? It ain't just their private jets. I don't believe anybody that's been at the tribunals. I'm been at the tribunal. Bullshit. That's how I know they're full of shit. That's how I will never have anything to do with that one. If they want to, yeah, I've been there. Sure. Okay. Because from the social media posts and the things that you're saying, that doesn't, the math ain't math, and so bullshit. But anywho, demand the answers. We will probably be live tomorrow because we're gonna pay for a lot that's happened in the last few days. I don't care. All I gotta say, and so does my mom, that if you go to hit us, you better take us out. Don't miss. I'm not playing. Even with you, Michael, because I just said your name tonight. So if we get pulled over, now you know why. We're tired. We're very tired.
Not tired, we're gonna stop. Tired, we just not gonna censor the bullshit.
We tired. You should be too. Your 90s love you. And we love you. We love you guys so much. And every warrior that's here, honestly, for the children. I know some of you are like, I just got here, I'm really trying. Okay, thank you. We call y'all 70s. I was stuck in chemistry class. Another story for another day. Go to the Telegram tomorrow because we got some more to show you. But thank you. Those who have been here since day one. Oh, thank you. Oh, I love y'all. Oh my God, it's been a lot. Y'all remember those nights where we were like, can y'all just drive with us? And people stayed up at night with us driving and eating gummy bears because we were so tired that we could barely keep our eyes open while we were driving. So we were all virtually sharing gummy bears and driving. Do you know how much has already happened? So thank you to those 90s that are like, I've been here since the beginning. I know all the shit. I've been here with a headache with you. I'm right here. I got it. Thank you. On behalf of every real victim, to every 90 that has been here from the beginning, thank you. I'm so serious right now because y'all have no idea how much the first time was like, woo! And right now, thank you. Seriously, thank you for trying. But it shouldn't end with me because I'm not the only one. My story is not the only story. So, thank you. Tomorrow, Telegram will open up again. I'm gonna play a few things, and I'm reposting a lot on my TikTok. My TikTok got taken down, so I'm reposting a lot on there. I want my story out there the right way. We got people making AI videos on us and putting information out. I was supposedly in a Jay-Z video. That's not true. I was not in Run This Town with Rihanna. I don't know who did that. But please stop that rumor because that's not true. If you wanna fine tooth comb a video, I can give you quite a few videos to fine tooth comb, but that ain't it. So it's enough already. It really is. It's painful as it is. So please don't orchestrate drama. It's really enough as it is. If everybody is wondering what to do right now, like if you feel a little nauseous and like there's a baby going through this right now, then while you're up late at night, then you know too, there's so many of you, demand answers, especially from the media. all these media platforms, go on there and demand answers in some type of way. They want your eyes for their paycheck. Does that make sense? So the more that you are feeding into their platform, the more you pay them. So trust me, when you're not feeding into the platform the right way, you'll see what they do with that. But demand the truth. And when is anybody gonna start talking about Child Protective Services? They are guilty, and there's no one to call, so they're still doing it. I made a promise that I was going to do whatever I could to bring an army back, and all I'm trying to do is point y'all back to them. So, no, I'm not going to exploit myself. There's people who are threatening to post rape videos of me. Do it. Do it. Everybody should ask yourself, I was a kid. I was a kid in all of these situations. Not an adult. Not an adult. I was a kid. Please demand answers. Please, please. Demand answers. That's what I could give you to do right now. And I would appreciate the day that the streets are covered, or people start talking about how guilty CPS is, or let alone just have some outrage for the children. The same outrage people would have for grown adults or idols, there needs to be for the children. Insurance holders, please stay on standby. I was getting ready to release Affidavit 88B, but wait a minute. Please. Insurance holder, you know who I'm talking to. Just give me a second. We got some new information, so I need to figure some things out, and then we could keep going. I need a minute. Alright. Love you guys. Bye.